Oh.
Social Flex. We are your Social Flex hosts and guides. I am Carlisa Turner. I am 42. I am single and widowed. Oh, we got an ad on it. I knew you was going to get fucked up. Oh, then you go like,
well, I am the Social Flex host and guide, Sierra Tompkins. I am 43. I am single, and I'm single. I'm kind of, you know what it is. You know what it is. Yeah.
Tonight we are talking boundaries, and we have a pretty dope panel. We have our podcast brothers in the building from Culture Content.
Yeah, let's go.
We are so excited to have them here in the building with us.
We're about to turn this up. Turn this up all the way.
So I'm going to send the camera to you first.
Okay.
Just introduce yourself. This is his camera right here.
This is my camera.
He's on that one.
So if you want to state the business.
I mean, I'm Chaz. I'm Aquarius. I'm 34 from Harlem, and we out here. Appreciate you.
Harlem,
You know what I'm saying? Eastside.
Yeah.
We out here.
So I'm Kay, the other half of Culture Content. I mean, we throwing our ages out there, so this is my godly year. Outside of that, I am taken, happily married. So what else? I'm a Virgo, and I guess I like long walks and long walks in the beach. Not too much sun, but a breeze.
So I know that. You said your God year. What's that?
33.
Okay, cool. Well, I know.
Oh yeah, I'm 34.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the God year was. I'm like, all right, that's no line.
That's you. God at 33.
Oh man,
Yeah.
you took another cat, man. That's a lot of work.
So, as I said before, tonight we are discussing boundaries. I'm going to get all the logistics out of the way, and then we can jump into the convo. So I did a deep dive online, and I looked up a couple of definitions of boundaries, so we can get like the technical stuff out the way, and then we can be back on our bullshit. You know how we do it here?
Let's do it.
So the Oxford Dictionary... the Oxford Dictionary definition. Let me cancel that. No, that's not the one I want to do. So the Oxford Dictionary definition of boundary is basically a line that marks limits of an area a dividing line, a limit of subject or a sphere of activity. So that's what it means to the Oxford Dictionary. If we take a little beat over to the Webster's Dictionary, they're saying that boundary is something that indicates or fixes a limit or extent. An example, those two trees mark the boundary of our property, the mountain range that forms the country's northern boundary. So that's Webster's definition. I also went to the University of Illinois Chicago, and they talked about boundaries as well.
So we do get facts. We just ain't up here with this.
Freestyle shit.
Yeah. We want to leave y'all with something
Something real, some stuff that.
So, what are boundaries? Boundaries are an invisible line that defines what behaviors are acceptable for an individual. Boundaries can be physical, example, do not touch me, or emotional, do not lie to me. Boundaries can also be based on time or space. An example, when I do XYZ, please respect my time and understand I will not be able to speak or hang out with you until XYZ or Z is complete.
If I say respect that, you gotta respect that.
You would think it would be so simple.
But we want to dive into that.
But that's where boundaries and the blurred lines come in.
I feel like the one boundary is what you said is don't touch me. Don't be in my personal space.
That's it. The first is don't touch me and whatever else.
Don't waste my time.
Stand
tall.
Definitely don't waste my time.
Down on that.
Time is money.
Right.
It's a waste.
Yeah, absolutely. Why do we need healthy boundaries? Setting boundaries is a form of self-care. It helps to create a clear guideline, rule, limits of how you would like to be treated. They let others know what is and what is not okay or acceptable. It honors our needs and wants so that we feel respected and safe. As students, boundaries also help to avoid burnout, stress, and anxiety. It can also help prevent financial and emotional burdens. Just in case somebody was wondering why you needed to have your boundaries in place. You can let them know.
I mean, if you don't have boundaries, it's super unhealthy.
Yeah. And people feel like they just walk with you wherever you do anything.
Yeah.
That's why I can't wait to roll into this. Like after you get through your rule, hop into this system.
How to set boundaries. First, recognize you deserve to be treated with respect. You are a worthwhile person. Second, take a second to define and acknowledge what boundaries you may or may not have already set in your relationship. Thirdly, recognize what boundaries you would like to set in place. What are your needs and wants? Please know boundaries you set for friends may look different for family and partners, etc. Lastly, communicate your boundaries in a respectful manner and respect others' boundaries. For more information on setting boundaries, you can go to that link right there. If you screenshot it and you got an iPhone, you could just click it later. But if you got an Android, I don't really know.
I don't really know how it is.
I don't really know how that works for you. The benefit to setting boundaries is. I was thinking in deep a little bit. So, the benefits of setting boundaries: it wards off burnout, it improves your emotional health, it improves relationships, gives clear expectations for others, decreases stress, improves self-care capabilities, respect from others and self-respect, promotes autonomy, and so forth and so on. So you know why you need boundaries. It's very important. Don't let nobody convince you that you don't need no boundaries. It's just the best you do. And then basically this last one is just a link that you can go to for more information if you need more help on setting boundaries or further education about boundaries.
And if you're tapping into the show via live on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, if you have any questions, comments, or anything you want to say to the group, be sure to drop them in the chat. Drop them in the chat through one or the other we'll read it and possibly answer your question if we have an answer for it. But we ready to get started and roll into this.
Yes, we are. So, considering everything that you've heard today, you got some boundaries, Big C?
Actually, it's wild. I didn't really start having boundaries until I went to therapy. My therapist told me that I needed to start setting boundaries. She's like, you don't got no boundaries? I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, that's why you burnt out. You don't have the boundaries.
What was the leading factor that got you there, if you don't mind?
I was burnt out.
Oh, you
I was just mentally, emotionally and physically, burnt out. It was to, basically to a breaking point. And you get to that, you're like, man, I'm broke and done. I don't really.
Did you realize that other people may have been taking advantage of you?
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
And then when I started to create the boundaries,
people start getting pissed.
and then it's like, oh.
Because you don't let that shit slide.
Oh, you done changed from school.
When you start saying that,
You start moving and people get offended.
Yeah.
I get offended because I'm protecting myself.
They do.
It just, and then it started a situation where I started to fall back from people. I just started falling, even my family, I was like, you don't call us, you don't, because we ain't in the same way, y'all like to trample, y'all don't step, y'all like to trample. I can't be, I protect my feet, y'all trigger. So, I'm really at a stage where I'm protecting my peace. If I feel like you want to step over a boundary, I'm good. Okay. You got it.
So I got a question because I got something to say later, but was it a physical or was it just a verbal boundary that was crossed?
With me, a lot of times it's emotional. Emotional boundaries. And so, I'm not sure because I'm a very emotional person and I'm in my head a lot. So once I get in my head, I'm like, no, did they really?
Yeah. He's like talking to himself. Playing back the old scenario.
Oh, okay.
That's trying to play me.
Yeah, I'm one of them people. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm one of you.
I'm one of them people. I'll go back and sit on it and be like, hey man, did that shit really exist?
And then you play it back so many times, it's the only logical explanation.
Yeah.
That's the difference between me and her. I'm saying it right now.
Yeah.
You why do we know?
Yeah.
You thought, so what you thought was, I was like that slide? No. No, I'm not like that.
You gotta clip them early because then, like you said, they'll just keep.
I'm immediately.
You know what
And for some of my relationships too, I don't like conflict or confrontation. So if I know me setting a boundary is going to lead to conflict or confrontation, I'd rather cut the relationship off. I talk to that person in order to avoid that.
I mean, if you make a boundary and you feel that deeply about that relationship, it's gonna cause additional conflict with a really good friend to begin with. If they can't respect.
I mean, it ain't even with so sometimes it ain't even with friends. It's I'm gonna be honest. A lot of boundaries get crossed in family. That's where a lot of my main boundaries. That's where a lot of my boundaries get crossed. And I call her a lot on my family shit because it's yo, am I wrong for feeling the way that I feel on this? And she kind of puts it in perspective. She gives me everybody's point of view. But at the end of the day, I'm still well, how are they going to make their problem my problem? I got my own problem.
You're only responsible for carrying it if you pick it up.
Right, and it's I don't, and that's just it. That's just, I just had a talk with my family, and I was look, y'all make y'all problems everybody else's problems, and that's not fair to everybody else. I know you always say that. Listen, but I had to put it into a point of view, because that's how you feel. That's not how I'm gonna feel. Feelings are subjective.
How loud you get, my mind is not changing.
Yeah.
So you only let them slide so many times because they quote unquote your family.
Right, and they try and my family try to use stuff that they know you emotionally. For instance, my grandma 99. She was a soul. So it's like, oh, you don't want to go spend time with your girl? Hey, don't do that. Like, you crossing a boundary. Like, you know I want to spend time with her. I just be a little busy. You know I fuck with her the long way. Don't do that to me. So, like, that's one of the main boundaries.
I tell you the truth, not right now. I mean, not that I don't love you. You ain't not want to come right this minute, hey, G. No, the fuck I don't. So now that we got that out the way, what's next?
Like, it's just like a lot of that stuff. Like, I really don't, in friendships and relationships, I really don't bounce off of that because you get hit the road. Like, those manipulators, that's like somebody else. I don't got time for that.
Gaslight. That's a word. Manipulation is crazy.
Oh, I go through it daily.
I
go through daily. No.
Oh, daily.
I ain't not dating. That was cute though. No, cause my father is a disabled veteran, super sick recently. Got diagnosed with cancer. However, before I was married, my husband passed away in 2021. So my finances took a drastic landslide when my late husband passed. So to keep money flowing, I'm like, they've been throwing this idea around about me being my father's caretaker. And I kept dismissing it because my family will take something and drag it to the absolute end of time. And so for me, it's like I knew what I would be signing up for. It's not me just being there to take care of my dad and help my dad during this set of hours. Yeah. It's now like indentured servitude. Yeah. So now you can't say no to nothing because then you're an asshole. Like, oh, you know what? It's your father. You have to take care of your father. Like I'm his only kid or something. So daily, literally, I don't feel like being bothered with something. I'm not in a good mood. So I'm not like, hey, what do you need? Oh my God. It's like, oh my God, that's terrible. How can you speak like that? Oh my God, that's your dad. Like, so what? Like, what does that mean? I'm not allowed to have an attitude because he's my dad. I'm not allowed to be sick of this situation because he's my dad. Like, my dad's in the plants. I don't want to be a gardener. I don't want to be in the botany. So you're excited about these plants. I don't give a fuck about these plants. And I'm not going to give a fuck about these plants. I don't care how hard your handshake. I still don't give a fuck about these plants. So I don't know why that is a bad thing. That's not what I want to do. So you don't care about my podcast. So, you know what I mean? I can't force you to care about that. Right. So, like I said, daily, the manipulation, like, oh my God, if I could have taken care of. Did you take care of your dad? No, you did. Oh, so you're going to make me feel bad? So now you fire at me and I fire back. Now I'm the bad guy.
And that's how it be. Once you be like, bow, they be like, oh, so
I can't believe it.
I'll be like the last thing I got told is like, oh, well, when something happened to your grandma, I ain't going to tell you. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how did we even get here? Like, how did we get here?
So none of y'all hold a secret, so I'm going to find out anyway.
Right,
so it doesn't matter.
I was like, oh.
That's one of those stones that you live in a glass house. Right. You know what I mean? Like, you want to dish some shit out, you have to take it. Shit in, you know what I'm saying? But back to your point is sometimes we feel like our feelings are altered or not as valid because of some type of way. Your own personal feelings is always going to be valid, no matter what the storyline is, or no matter what story people, fans, friends, or family try to dictate what happens. You know what I mean? How I feel is how I feel, bro. Like,
and I stand on that shit.
Yeah, I be tripping.
And I like to be around people that I can express my boundaries to, like in a healthy environment. Like there are certain people where I can be like, yo, I just don't. We can have a conversation about it, and instead of them being like, oh, well, you're wrong, they're like, okay, like I can understand that point of view, but like, check it out, look at it this way. So
that's a healthy conversation.
Yeah,
we have that in our business dynamic. Like, there's a lot of things we always joke about each other's half of the social flex. So, like, she's in the things that I'm not into, and maybe I'm in the things that she might not be into. So, when that comes up, and I'm like, oh, I'm not. You can do what you want.
With your half.
With your half. My half ain't showing up. I can tell you right now, my half ain't participating. But you do what you want.
But I think, like I said, like she said, it's a certain. I know there's certain kind of boundaries that you don't want to dig into. Like I'm more on music entertainment side, so I do a lot of stuff with that. And if I'm out there representing the social flex, I'm out there representing the social flex. But most of the times I'll mention a podcast, but I don't put it out there as like a business front because that's us for real. Yeah. So, but just understanding our business boundaries. Right. And trying to, like, where we don't agree, try to compromise and just like, and maybe it's just one time, like the deck. Shit.
I don't want to do that shit. Okay.
Wait, what happened to that?
Yeah.
So, there's a deck downstairs.
Right.
And so, I am socially antisocial. So, I speak when spoken to, but I'm more of the play that cuts in the corners type of person. Like sit back and just observe. I'm a professional spectator. She's more outgoing, more, hey, how you doing? Da 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 da. Hee hee ha ha. I'm not none of that.
I didn't think I was that person, but
so that somebody had went to her and was asking her why we don't film the pod on the deck. And so when she came to me like, oh, they want to know. So I'm like, well, it's two reasons. One, we have a part of our business that we do events, right? So we have an event thing. We had a venue that we strictly used for events. So if we're going to be on display in that manner, there was a financial incentive to doing that. I again say I don't particularly fancy being put on display. I'm not the out front person. I'm the background person. I'm back here like, well, go ahead, woohoo! Right? She's more of the out front. Thing with the podcast. Like, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be going to fucking podcast. So, because that's just not who I am. So, like I said, we do events. So when we're up and out front and in front of wild people that we don't really know, there's a financial incentive. Two, we have our own private security that does that with us, so that our safety is ensured in that manner.
Of course.
Some of our topics get wild. I mean, crazy. And when you put that type of heat on top of alcohol and some recreational drug, it can be a recipe for disaster. People get in their feelings. A lot of people don't have a lot of self-control. You know what I mean? But I know that these people have us and our best interest and our safety,
of course,
in mind. So, second reason is because I prefer the more intimate setting. You understand what I'm saying? There was no financial incentive to doing nothing on the deck and just being out there doing like a mini event, basically, because that's how I'm now viewing it, because that's what it feels like to me. That's my headspace when we do it that way. Two, who we supposed to trust to protect us? Little dude at the door downstairs? Absolutely not. I'm going to trust on my shoelaces, let alone my whole self. Nah, and by the time his ass would get to with the nonsense, we'd be fucked up out here. You know what I'm saying? So, no.
It's a little too late.
Three, again, now I have to be mentally prepared to be social. Right? So now we're mixing and mingling with people we don't know, whose temperament we're not accustomed to dealing with. All that, with alcohol and XYZ involved, I don't really feel comfortable doing that. She's like, come on. But I think we should just give it a try. So first, man, it was cold outside. So I was like, nah, it's cold. I thought about it. Like, nobody here. I ain't really trying to be out in the cold.
And then the next thing was the temperament outside. I got allergies. She was like, you ain't think this through, did you? So she finally wears me down, and we go to do the episode. We do an episode out there. I wear heels a good bit of the time. 90% of the time, I'm high off the ground. The deck is not my type of shoe training. That's another problem. It's a safety hazard for me, really. You know what I'm saying? So, have you ever been swallowed by a deck? I'll tell you right now. It's not fun. It's not cute. Just walk right about the shoe, like you know what, the deck can have the shoe. I don't even really need it. I got another pair like that at the crib. They're gone. So
she finally wears me down, and so I haven't, like I said, I pulled up that day with a whole attitude because I really don't want to do it. But I sit in my car and I decompress. I fuss at Greg a little bit, like, this is bullshit. Why y'all keep asking her? Greg's like, I didn't. It's not me. So then we set up and we do it, and it ended up being a pretty dope experience overall. It wasn't a whole lot of rigmarole and chaos. We did it again. And I'm looking at her like, see what the fuck I'm saying? See what the fuck I mean? Now I got to punch somebody in the face.
Somebody definitely went over their boundary.
Was that again to your point with the alcohol?
Yeah, I know. I think somebody was just being an asshole. Yeah, that person was just being an asshole. And so with that,
energy to deal with.
Yeah, ego. That's pretty much all that was. And I situation, but
so but. It worked out and then it didn't work out. And then I'm just like, it's just safer and less BS if we just keep it intimate as opposed to trying to. And if we want to find a new venue and maybe try the event thing again, which we will, then we will. And then that'll be how we reserve that. Otherwise, if you want to be a part of the Social Flex, come on the panel. Or you gotta wait until we set up, which people would get on us all the time, like, when is the next event? I'm like, we planning it. You don't know, really. I don't know. We thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, like with the events too, again, there are boundaries that have to be set with that. Or, as far as business boundaries, like there's a lot of boundaries that I have in life. And there's business boundaries that you gotta set when you have a business so you don't fall under. Like, a good percentage of business is out of pocket for the first couple years.
Yeah, right.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like,
definitely out of pocket.
We sinking out of pocket. We take them from something else that we may want to do, that we may need to do. Yeah, so, it's cool to have an event, and it's cool for y'all, but the people on the other side, we like, you got $3 till I get paid again because I just spent.
Right. $3 short on his gas bill.
Yeah, help me out. Right. So, that's another boundary, but there's all types of different boundaries in life.
Yeah. So we just have an open discussion, or you want us to go out?
You can say whatever you want to say.
I'll start it off. I think boundaries are definitely a necessity of life, right? I think it goes hand in hand with your mental health, you know what I mean? And just like to back what you said, like protecting your energy. Family, in my opinion, takes more advantage of those boundaries than friends do because, I've known Chaz since 10th grade, and
20 years.
20 years. And boundaries, certain boundaries have to be discussed, but others don't, especially when you're dealing with some real people, you know what I mean? It's just like certain boundaries don't have to be discussed, where it's just like, we move in the same type of direction type shit, same type of mentality, everything. But then when it comes to friends, they abuse that shit, you know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, because I'm your cousin, or because I'm your older cousin, or because I may think I know or have more wisdom than you. Like, that shit is all bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas just talk to talk sometimes, and we pass it off as like, oh, that's just family. When in all reality, like, that shit needs to get checked. You know what I'm saying? And I've had those issues. Like, I'm more bound to recuperate from verbal altercations. You know what I'm saying? Where, all right, you crossed a verbal boundary with me, then we can talk this out. But at the same time, once it gets physical, like, that's another boundary. That's here. And then that's here, the physical shit where it's just like, nah, fuck that. We ain't on that type of time. We can't never be back on that same type of time. So that's just really how I feel about it. Yeah, motherfuckers who claim whatever they claim on their side of the story, to make it seem like you're the bad guy and seem like you don't know what you're talking about. But at the end of the day, gaslighting, just taking advantage, manipulation, all those words we discussed, it's just like that all plays into that shit. Why is it, I feel like family, I don't know. I don't know why it's family.
I don't know either. I feel like it's just like a control thing. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with, dare I say, like certain religions. You know what I mean? It's that control factor where you're trying to make abuse okay. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like I said, with me personally, just me specifically, I don't give a fuck. So whatever it's about to be, it's about to be that. So I'm not the person that you can have that type of back and forth. First of all, I don't really fancy verbal altercations, period. But I will eviscerate you verbally if necessary. If you want it to be physical, we can definitely do that too. You know, probably go
I don't like
and you in that retrospect too.
The physical, I try not to like.
It's just with it, like me, like I said, with my family, I'm the one person they know not to even bother with because I'm going to take it past there every time. You start when you can't control my response. I don't want to engage with you, period. So if you force me in a position where I now have to engage with you, be prepared because I'm going to take you on a ride. Like, don't do that. So my mom and dad hate that because they want to be able to just say what they want to say to me. And then they want me to just take it, swallow it, and hold it because they're my parents. It's like, oh, you know, all right, I'm mother and I father. I'm like, yeah, but don't provoke your kids to anger. Like, y'all know, forget the second part. Like, there's a whole thing after that you just seem to just try to gloss past. Nah. That works for somebody who don't read it. I read it, so I understand what that means.
I think parents, like elders, really try to push the boundary too on like who you are as a person. Like, you can't change who I am as a person, but how are you trying to do that? Crossing that boundary, I am this person. Like, yeah, I'm your child, but I'm still this person. So it's like respect that boundary. Like,
or respect your elders. Meanwhile, your elders is out here acting like one funky ass fool. Like, well, let me tell you something, man. Don't start no shit. Be no shit, because I'm going to hand you exactly what you tried to serve me. Don't you do it.
I think family also, they see you in the light, you know what I mean? Like, if they older than you, they always see you as a little homie, a little cousin or stuff like that, but grown ass man now, though. So
right.
I'm gonna do some shit,
that's
so
it.
My perspective a little different, so don't talk to me that type of way.
You be going through life for you more than
the life for them.
I'm telling my people the whole time, like, y'all ain't been through a quarter of the shit I done been through, and y'all got the most to say. You can't coach me through nothing you never seen.
Right, and then you handle like a champ.
What kind of shit is that?
Like, I was having that conversation recently because my family was like, well, you don't even tell us what's going on. Again, I'm not going to make my problems your problems. Like,
for mad that you can't be trusted with the information.
Yeah, like, you're crossing a boundary with that.
No, you don't trust them with the information.
You can't even be trusted with the information.
Right, if you start run tell that to everybody, you like, God damn,
and then even
turn around, you on the phone, and you know.
What I take that comment as is like, as far as I can't trust you with the information, I can't trust that you'll protect my emotions. Because I'm already emotional about this, and me hearing, oh, well, no, you didn't. You went through your situation, I'm going through mine. It's not the same. You have a similar
you want
situation.
me to handle it the way you chose to handle it. I may not want to be that weak or that powerful in this moment. I want to be free to rise or fall.
I want to be free
in
to
a
have my
way that
emotions.
feels good to me. If I'm in the spirit of crumble, let me crumble and support me through my demise. If I'm in the spirit of then let me be in that and support me, you know what I'm saying, as I go through that. That's another thing that people have a hard time doing, is just meeting people where they are and accepting that or supporting them through it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Support doesn't mean that you agree with it.
Or you have to give an answer. Or solution.
Facts, because sometimes silence is definitely the answer.
Right.
Wow, that's like
you in a minute, like
with my kids now. That's something that I do. When my kids call me and they be like, "What did I be like? Whoa, are you calling me to vent, or are you calling because you want a resolution?"
Right.
Because if you vent and we okay.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I'm here with
you. Might be doing the dishes in the background.
But if you want a resolution, now I have to cross a boundary that you might not like. Because you're coming to be an adult. So it's like, okay, you know, if you're asking me, you might hear some stuff you don't like. Right. So is you ready for that? So it's just, but I'm going to say, like, for my elders, like the people like my mom and my aunts, and I don't think that they understand that compass of really asking someone like, do you want a resolution or do you just want to vent?
They understand it when it's done.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
We've had, they understand perfectly when it's done.
Yeah, I mean, that's the part of like.
So yes, they understand it. Some people can dish it, but they can't take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to dump all my shit on you, and you shut the fuck up. But you can't dump your shit on me. Like, and that there lies the problem. So you have to know, believe people when they start showing you where they at with it. Like, you have to know who you can give that to. That's why I said you can't. Some people just can't be trusted with the information. There's almost nobody on this planet I'm sharing anything with. I be like,
right.
people tell me, you're too secretive.
But have you ignored red flags from whether it be friends or family, and then the boundary gets crossed, and you're like, I saw you do that sucker shit here.
In the past, yeah.
No. I've never ignored them. I always state, like, yo, I don't fuck with so-and-so because, or I don't want to deal, I'm not coming to this or that because I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to participate in the fake shit. Oh, my, he's like, you gotta learn that shit. So you come, and then when the shit hit the fan, I got my now see face. Alright. I start. Remember what the fuck I could have been there? I couldn't have been here. I could have been doing something else with my time. Y'all wanted me here. So I don't want to hear nobody mouse when I start acting up. Because you already knew where I stood when I was like, I'm not coming. I decline invitations all the time. Like, yeah, I won't be at that.
I be like, do you want to come? She's like, no, I don't.
But then, here's one thing though. Are you so you just don't have a show to something because that other person is there?
It could be any number. It could not even be one person. It could be circumstances. Period. Like, in my opinion, like my dad's side of the family, and no particular side, but there's a few inches of that. I don't want to. I remember when, so I'm not gonna sit up here and front and fake with y'all. Like, I ain't a fucked up group of motherfuckers. Like, I don't want to do that. And I have an aunt that have done the most wicked shit to me ever. So I don't care to interact and mingle with her. Well, that's the only sister I got. That's your problem. You're be thankful that I didn't do to her what I would have done if a stranger had did that to me. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Because I could have handled that extra different, and I chose to not to. She still has her whole face intact because I love you for real, right? Now, other stuff is just I don't want to be bothered with the atmosphere. This atmosphere doesn't feel good to me. I don't want to be here for that. So because I know I don't want to be here for that, I'm going to find something else to do. No one person can chase me out of nowhere. I will come just to spite your ass. I'm that person. Coming there smiling and giggling, talking loud, acting, real petty with it. But there are just some things I just don't want to participate in because I need me. Yeah. And I know that I'm not going to sit here with you. I'm just not going to do that. No, I'm not doing it. I don't like it here. You're going to know every inch that I don't like it. Nothing about me is going to give, hey guys, it's going to give, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I got a relationship like that. I don't even do a fuck. How many times she apologizes and then she wouldn't, or says whatever, like, there's no amount of coming back over, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, fuck it, we live, right? So, fuck it. I got an aunt, right? I'm gonna talk about shit real quick. I got my ass. Talk to me. Talk to me. Shit today. So, I got an aunt, and I'm gonna give you this short version of it, So, my mom's passed, whatever the case was. Not whatever the case is, but yeah, she just recently passed. And her sister, and so y'all know exactly what I'm talking about.
In case you didn't know.
I was wondering. My mom's sister.
Yeah, my mom was direct sister. She only got another one that's alive, but she know it wasn't her. So it's only one process of elimination. That's the other one, right? So, this is one section of, when we were planning a, service funeral and to repast and everything. Trust me, I'm only going to give you this much, you know what I'm saying? But long story short, it's like, she had made shirts for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And guess who didn't get a fucking shirt? Me or my sister. Didn't create shirts of my mom. Yeah, the t-shirt. I mean, I didn't want it, but it's the principle and it's that boundary. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah, there's so many boundaries. I'm like I said, I sit on it and be like, really did that?
how the fuck everybody get a shirt?
She was cool.
I was staring at my mom in that casket like, well,
Yeah, this is why we came. Real talk, you know. I just think about that relationship, like that's a boundary in the line that you can't
There
ever
was
come
like
back
a whole
from.
bunch of boundaries crossed in that one, boy. A lot of emotional boundaries, actually.
family
Right.
hated me after that.
Man,
You know,
that was show off.
At least I always go too far.
I look like a champ though.
yeah, I held it
race.
down, you know what I mean? Because
I would have burned everything. Everything would have got burned down.
Trust me, it crossed my mind several times, you know what I mean? But I'm planning the service, I'm planning the repast, you know what I mean? I'm making sure shit is going right. So it definitely was like, write that down mentally, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then, but it's just like, when the shit hit the fan though, you know, and niggas really got into it, like, yo, y'all niggas is some sucker. The fact that y'all condone that shit, you know what I'm saying? There was only one person who really came to me and said some shit. It was like, yo, I got this. I don't know if you know, but you can have my shit.
The
You know what I'm
first
saying?
boundary that was crossed in that is the fact that she didn't come to you or one of your siblings to ask if it was even okay.
Because that's her sister. That's what she
I don't give
She
a fuck about none
I'm
of
just
that.
telling you. The mindset is a sense of entitlement.
None of that.
Because that's her sister. I went through that with my husband had. I'm telling you, people felt entitled to cars and tools and I'm like, what the fuck? Can I have one of his cars? First of all, our cars? No, the fuck you cannot.
Right.
Can I have some of his tools, our tools?
Right.
No, the fuck you cannot.
Yeah.
T-shirts was getting made and posted on the internet. I'm like, my husband didn't even want to be on no type of apparel whatsoever. Like he was adamant about that. There was a lot of things that we talked about when it came to, you know, if in the event of our retirement, that like what we would and would not want. You know what I'm saying? And there was certain being on somebody's shirt was at the top of like, don't you put me.
You know what I'm saying, right?
On a fucking shirt.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey.
I mean, I got a lot of rules for mine. They already down my attorney got it for my kids. If something happened to me, there better not be one line crossed. I told my kids, y'all can get as physical as y'all need to.
But that's the thing, though. By law, the parents, if they're not married, it goes directly to the kids.
People don't respect them. Tell me, when my grandfather passed away, I remember we were sitting there waiting for him to pass. Because he wanted to pass at home. We were all sitting there waiting on him to pass. And I listened to them argue.
Yeah, that shit.
Who was riding in what car and who was doing this or who got this and who. I'm like, this man ain't. What if he changed his mind? Like, no, I'm staying around.
Yeah, you know,
So you gotta listen to him.
you know, we do that every week.
That's crazy.
My grandma do that like every 3 months. They be waiting. Like, we just got, the nurse just was like, oh, yeah, we give her 6 months. I said, listen, y'all think that shit a year ago. My grandma's still here. I'm not about to play these games with y'all. But every time that happens, like, people start crying. I'm like, man, she's chilling. She's not going nowhere. Like,
When she's good and dang ready.
yeah, so like when something come up, like don't cross that boundary with me. Like I'm good on that. Like whatever happens.
That's not entitlement.
That's crazy.
So I just had an incident with my grandpops with his stuff, because he was a vet, and my granddad died when I was 15. I'm 43, so imagine this timeline. They gave me his plaque from him like being in the service and all of that. So I got a plaque and I put it up in my house. My mom comes over and like, whose flag is that? I'm like, that's granddad. She was like, well, I felt like since I'm his oldest, we're not gonna do this, man.
I
Like,
told you what to tell her. Go on down the shoulders and sailors.
come on, man. They have how to play these
Go
games.
on down the shoulders and sailors and tell them that you think they made an error and you would appreciate
I'm not gonna play.
if they issued you a regulation flag folded into a full triangle.
You know what I mean?
That's there so that you can plaque it up and put it up.
Listen, I'm like, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, man, I'm not about to do this. She did, but I ultimately at that time really like I had it on display, but not on display where someone could readily see it.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't let people for real. She'll tell you I don't let people be all frolicking and finagling through my crib.
I be in the snacks.
Yeah.
I be in the fridge.
But that's all places that I
be in
let
the
people go.
Right, yeah.
Like I let people go and
I be in the TV.
like this is my dog. Like, but there be
What you talking about?
there be certain
closet.
There's certain people that just can't
I don't know
go
nobody else's boundary line is.
No, like
I walk in without knocking. You know.
listen.
I'm ready to kick the door off the hinges.
Like, you know, all that. But listen, like, so again with family, they cross some boundaries, so I gotta put limitations on my crib. Like the one time they came in and was stealing my shit, like you need toilet paper that bad? You can't go to get you a bar of Dove? Like what the fuck? Like you got stock. Like, okay, yeah, cause I need it. Like the fuck you
They gonna grocery shop actually.
That's wild.
Where they shopping cart? That's wild.
Then like I was like, wait, you took my
I expect that of William will see, but anybody else is violent. And the highest order.
But again, at my house, like I'm one of them people that kind of like, even though it's me, I stop. Like I like what the fuck I like. So
Exactly, but that's
yeah, you boys see 10 things of Dove the same kind on my shelf.
It's a difference though. They be like, hey, can I get a Dove? I'm a little low.
No, then
But that's what I'm saying. It's a difference.
I caught him walking out. Like,
Yeah, it's a difference. But if they ask, then you still have the option to be like, fuck no. But still, it's like, you know what I mean? You might respect it a little bit more than people just like, yeah, all right, what you saying? And they just put it inside it, like, bro, man, put it inside their jacket pocket. Like, what you got?
but there were some people it just be crazy. Like my kids don't even do like my kids come over all the time and they don't never take nothing. Like they don't say they be like, oh, can I get a ginger ale? Like, what the ginger ale?
Yeah. But that's the entitlement talk we spoke about. Like, that's crazy. But I want to talk about like boundaries with at work sometimes, because like, so like
I can't participate. Y'all can talk about I can't participate in that conversation with people where I work at. If somebody watch this,
nah, I'm gonna be brief though, because if you know, you know. I mean, sometimes you know you gotta have boundaries, because like people could be passive aggressive.
Absolutely,
and I don't like that shit. Not at all, right? But like if you wake up the bear and you say something, and oh my god, what do you mean by that? Like, bro, like you know you've been poking, you've been saying little shit or doing little shit, and then when I say something. Or when I react to it, now it's just like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Or why you react
like I didn't know.
Right, like I don't like that, and that's not just with work, but like even relationships. You know what I'm saying?
That's the topic I want to get into.
Relationship could be like sexual relationships or friendships or whatever the situation is. Sometimes people like to poke you, and they do little things that they know it might you might not have a reaction right then and there, but like I'm an overthinker too. I'm gonna overanalyze after you did something. Oh, hold up. You know what I'm saying? And if it's that outrageous, I might say something right then and there. But I don't like that passive aggressive shit. I don't like that people be poking and trying to do extra. I don't like that shit, yo. And people do that shit a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, when I first started my career, I was definitely like real cautious of other people's energy. But then motherfuckers started violating my boundaries and not giving a fuck. Then I started being like, oh,
man,
you're gonna have to take me to HR because I'm gonna have to, don't do that again. Yeah. Oh, what did I say? Just
don't say that shit again. I just said
I just don't say it. You know what I'm saying? Or you was doing this. You're not gonna sit here and come and tell me you've been here 5 minutes. I've been here for a year, half, 2 years. You're not gonna come in and regulate. I don't care what title you got. You don't know what you're talking about. Come get bricks. You know what I'm saying? And it was to the point where I had to get to like, you just got a title under your, on your career. That don't mean you better than me. That don't mean you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You got a little bit more experience, but at the same time, don't cross that line with me because I'm gonna let you know you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And then that's when I might tell one of my coworkers like, this nigga coming out over here, like, watch him. You know what I'm saying? He tried to pull a fast one. But if you gotta nip that shit in the butt, nip that shit in the ass ASAP. Like, don't let that shit pop by. Yeah.
I like he was starting to go into like relationships, like as far as like with your partner, like intimate sexual relationships. And I feel like besides family, that those boundaries are boundaries that get crossed in abundance. If y'all don't have like
Like when you're dating or
yeah,
Like, it could be dating,
like in what way?
situationships, whatever situation.
I mean, like whatever the situation may be, I feel like if there's not enough of conversations. Like I was just talking to somebody the way they was talking to me, I had to let them know, like, yo, like that shit ain't cute, my nigga. Like I don't like you way out of pocket. Like like you like the stuff you're like I was like I don't know if other females kind of relate to that because you're real comfortable doing it. But no, man, like I don't get down. Like I'm not gonna let you value me because you feel in a certain type of way. That's a boundary.
Yeah, that's clear. You can't let people. When it comes to a relationship, it definitely can be blurred. You know what I'm saying? Especially when sex is involved. You know what I mean? Like motherfuckers be just doing anything or say they can do anything or try to do stuff or try to throw little jabs here or little stuff like that. Man, you gotta definitely nip it in the bud, man. Like ASAP. You know what I mean? Like. You're not gonna say slick shit and think I'm not gonna say something back to you. You know what I mean? Like you said, Kay, before, like, you know what I mean? Don't dish it out if you can't take it. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you're not doing it.
Yeah, I just and as far as like relationships go, like I always like now because I was I was married, separated, so I know like in that from my point of view and looking at it, like a lot of boundaries were crossed. And it was just like because you're my mate or we're in this relationship, you're my husband, you feel it's okay to cross these boundaries and it's not.
But then it's why would they want to? I get the one time pass, but it's like something that's not deemed like you should know this by now. You know what I mean? Something you should know versus you really crossed this boundary. You always get one. You know what I'm saying? And if that's happening and you get to the point where you keep coming across a situation, it's like, yo, doing this stuff, that's not a healthy relationship. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like a compatible one.
And that's what I'm saying, like, sometimes you gotta know, like, what's healthy and what's not. Like, even if you've been with somebody for a long time, at some point, it's the safety and security of being with somebody for a long time. It's like, oh, man, I can do this. Like, we've been together for this long, they ain't gonna care. But no, like, yeah, I do care. Like, that's a boundary.
The same way. Like, that's not cool. That's just making the relationship deteriorate over time. You know what I mean? Like, in a relationship, you're supposed to be uplifting each other and speaking life into each other. And it's an exchange of values. If every time something happens, you disrespecting me or you doing something that's not, benefit us in the future, then you gotta go. That shit is not cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I always, like I said, I feel like conversations need to be like kind of laid out through the duration of like the dating stage or the talking or whatever stage y'all like.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have to keep having those conversations because who you are today is not only going to be a year from now, 2 years, a year and a half, whatever it is. You may be a motherfucker that change personalities once a month. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
And then you got you know what I'm saying? Like you got 4 different personalities that all gotta get addressed. I mean, that's a lot of shit.
And experiences can change how you view things going forward. You know what I mean? Like, and this person may not be aligned with where you're going. So therefore, you gotta let them down a little easier.
How long do you let that last before you gotta be like, yo, I gotta Chucky the Deuces like Chris Brown, like.
And then we get into that conversation of like having the boundaries and the expectations of like when to chuck the deuces. Like how many times before I'm gonna address something and you gonna
and I'm not
you play with me, like yeah.
Ain't. I'ma say my piece and I just went through it. Literally, I just went through it. I was just telling her I was coming back from vacation. I was calling her like, "Bitch, am I tripping me? Am I the one that's about crazy? Am I tripping?" She's like, "Nah."
I mean, when somebody say they gonna fall the fuck off, my nigga, like,
yeah. Hit me with the if you ain't gonna do it, that's why I'm gonna fall back. I'm like, okay.
Fall the fuck off.
I don't like threats.
Yeah.
I'm out.
It's not so much at the threat. It's like you have convinced yourself that something is going on here that's not going on. That's how I rationalize that in my mind. I've only been talking to you for a few weeks, and not even like consistently for a month or so. We're talking, maybe here, maybe a week or so go back to hear from you over here. Some more time go past, I hear from you over here. Nowhere in that was there enough consistency for you to have this much entitlement as far as I'm concerned. What are you talking about?
You know what it is though?
What is
Yeah, what is it? Because I need to know.
I used to have this bad habit, not anymore. But you know, when you dating in that scene, right?
We wasn't dating. They went on 8 days.
All right, well, even if you're just whatever the case is, right? Him to know how other women treat him is where the
I said that. I said that to her. I don't know where in your life this shit was working at, but wow, let me tell you. It's not gonna work here. But I'm not, whatever speed you thought I was gonna be racing at, I don't have to do that. You talking wild. I was like, bro, I was somebody's whole ass wife for a decade plus. It's a change. If you think I'm about to lessen myself from being somebody's wife to a random, wrong number. Wrong girl. If you think listen, why can't we be friends and kiss? Why can't we be friends and cuddle? Because I don't want them type of friendship. I don't want to be kissing and cuddling my comrades. Hear me? I don't want to be a friend with benefits. I don't want to be a cuddle buddy. I don't want to be a boo thing. I don't want to be a yan. I don't want to be none of this little cute shit y'all done made appropriate in this culture. I don't want none of that. If you didn't come here to put forth a real effort and apply real pressure, wrong number. I don't know why you call or text here.
That's respectable. As long as
I don't know why you text here.
As long as I stated from the beginning, you know what I mean? Because like when sex happens, man, people can lose their mind. You've been in it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
a lot of
it's on both sides.
responsibility.
Like, some men be like, yeah, I put it down and she going crazy. Nah, nigga, she put it on you too. And now you blowing up her phone. Now you outside the window like, yo, like, what you got? You know what I mean? Right? You out the window. Now you blowing her phone up.
And that be the kicker. Most times it be like, for real. Both of y'all was probably mediocre with each other. Y'all probably just.
Not mediocre,
I'm just saying, like, it's hypothetical.
Hold on.
Nah, stand up.
I demand names and details, occurrences and dates. Who was mediocre?
You know, sometimes that happens and it's like, oh, I put it down. You put down what? Like, I just like that with the fuck. Like,
I'm not even sticking around long enough for you to believe no shit like that. The minute it's not hitting, listen, I got it. I'm so serious. The minute it's not zinging and zigging and zinging I needed to, I'm out of here. Like, first, listen.
But that's how you hear that a lot. Oh,
I got
him, and I'm thinking in my head, like, bitch, you was probably just mediocre for this nigga, man. For real. You think you got. And the same with men, I'd be like, man, she probably ain't even fucking thinking about you, dog. She probably got 2 or 3 other dudes that it could put it down and helping her out in some way, mentally, financially, emotionally. You just gonna have to. But I digress.
Yeah, it's definitely an energy exchange. You know,
people don't
just
get it.
Clouds.
Bro was really on your knees. Like, you ain't trying to do this. I don't understand what the problem is. I don't just be hugging and kissing on people. I don't do that. I don't just be out here being real intimate with just any old body. Like, if I'm gonna be intimate,
you was doing better than me.
So back to boundaries. Did you put him in the friend zone?
So it wasn't about a friend zone, and that's the fairness. Like, he reached out to me. It's somebody I've known for like 20-something years. I've known this person for years, right? He reached out to me and he's like, hey, hey, stranger, you don't speak. I'm like, oh, I speak when spoken to, small talk. Right? I speak when spoken. That's definitely you speak. I probably going to initiate the hey. There's a high probability that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I definitely speak when spoken to. So, there was a little chit chat and a thing. So first he hits me with the I'm just trying to Find somebody I can have fun with. And I'm like, well, so immediately I ask, well, what is fun to you? Oh, hit a couple shows, maybe take a boat ride, take a couple walks, do this, do that. You know, go to
That was cap.
this or do that. Hold up, but I asked. I made sure that I asked up front where your man was at, so I can decide what I will and will not participate in, right? So I gave you the opportunity to tell me where you was at with it, so I could decide if that's something I want to be down with. Okay, cool. The little boat rides and the events and the shows.
That sounds like a premature date.
La 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 la. Ah, cool. No problem. Yeah, you know we can do that. Then he's texting me other moves. He's like, oh, I just wanted you to know I'm shooting my shot. Okay. Okay. We go from shooting a shot to I'm eating dinner, but I wish it was you. Wait a fucking minute. These leaps are happening too fast for me. So now I have to reach out to my friends who have been dating for time to understand if, because I'm not, you know,
Wait,
I'm
hold on,
not
let me get
dating.
this straight. He texts you that I'm shooting my shot. I wish you was with me.
No, like I'm shooting my shot. Then like the next day or so, maybe next day or two, it was like, you know, small talk, like, you know, what you up to? Oh, you know, I'm cooking, I'm about to eat dinner. And I'm like, oh, you know, that's what's up, what you about to eat? He's like, I wish it was you first. I got you. I'm like, wow.
Inappropriate.
Like, hi, I'm just Gwen. Have a sense of humor. These is just jokes.
That's like when the women say, "Oh, I'm hopping in the shower without me," or all that other bullshit. Like, well, that's corny, bro.
Yeah.
So I check it though to let you know right there. I'm not there. I'm not there with you.
Yeah.
You're there by yourself. So then you know you're alone on that island.
What's his name? What time Hanks? What's the soccer bullshit? Damn.
What's it?
Not Forrest Gump. The Castaway, bro.
Castaway. Oh,
What's the thing?
Always on his island by himself.
You're alone.
I messed up the
You're alone in that.
punchline.
So then, like I said, we hung out a couple of times. I was shopping for like tuxedos for my son and stuff. I invited him to come with me. Treated him to dinner because he was with us. Like, right? Cool.
yeah.
So, well, but that's me.
But that's
what
us.
If you was with me and hey, I want to kick it, y'all want to hang out?
Yeah.
I got
Yo, let's go grab
I
something.
get that. I get that.
Okay.
Waitress, that's on me. I invited them out. That's on
I
me.
get that.
You feel me? So that's me though. That's with anybody. That's not.
But that also doesn't
him
blur the lines of you thinking like, oh, you bought something for me. Now I gotta like.
I hope that's not what we was thinking, because that's a terrible mentality to have. Because
Yeah, like.
I need the husband, baby.
Bro, I just bought you a Shawnee Simmons. That's it.
Nah, that is so. Pass. So after that, you know, so he's like, oh, you want to, you know, take a ride with me, make a couple rounds with me? I'm like, sure, cool. He's like, meet me at my crib. So slide over to the crib. Whatever. He's like, come in for a second. So while, you know, I'm changing my clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I've known this person for 20-something years.
You
So.
see the workout though.
Hold on. So when I get in, there's like a hug. They're like, give me a kiss. First of all, we had already talked about me not giving out kisses like that. I don't be doing that with just anybody. So now you want to force me to kiss you. Like, stop. Like, go in the bathroom. I'm going to go where else?
Can you kiss me?
I'm going to wait in the car. Like, that's crazy. So then there was another time we hung out. He tried that whole forcible kiss thing again. So then he texted me like, yo, why you don't want to kiss me? Is there a problem? I'm like, well, first of all, wow. Like, that's not a you thing. I've already gave my boundary.
What's the obsession with the kissing part anyway?
And I said, so maybe kissing's not a big deal to you, but it's a big deal to me. Never say that. I'm not even a kisser for real. I just wanted to kiss you.
We've done this 3 times already. Like, what you talking about?
But unfortunately, I'm not with you on that. Like, I need time. To me, that is intimacy. And I need time to build up to a space of comfort where I want to be intimate with you. I'm not a pass around. You're not just going to be just sliding on me just because you thought it was cool to do. My self-esteem is not down that far. You know what I mean? I'm not desperate. So for me, I don't care. Like, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. So again, I've explained my boundary in depth. The tantrum comes in like, well, you don't got to worry about me ever trying to do that no more. I don't care. That's it. I'm going to fall back.
Yeah, you got to go.
Okay. I didn't try to offer no more commentary. Hit it with the okay.
Yeah. You said K or just okay?
Oh, okay.
You should have
Okay.
K.
Okay.
No,
Just a K. That's
I hit him with the whole, cause I don't like lazy texting.
no, some
K if I'm being smart.
K is
K.
Yeah.
more disrespectful.
Well, that wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't got time for all that. It's gonna be okay. Like
So listen, so I hit him with the okay. I'm done talking.
Yeah.
I now have accepted that you want to fall back, and in my math, we're landing on
we falling back.
Right, that's fine.
right? Ha! Wrong. So now my DM start dinging off. Ding 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 ding. So I made a post on like TikTok. I did a TikTok.
Okay.
Lip syncing them that new Mooney Long song.
Oh yeah. Don't ask me.
Make me
sing it.
forget.
Yeah, but I know.
That one. So I'm mounting
She
the
went over
lyrics
that
to the new Mooney
freestyle,
Long.
but,
He hit me in my inbox like, you don't want all that. I tried to give you that. I'm like, no, the fuck you didn't. Because what you're not about to do is lie to both of us.
Yeah.
right.
You lie to yourself.
You're
You lie.
not gonna lie to me. You're not about to lie to both of us. Like, that's crazy.
Gaslight, manipulation.
I mean, but it happens a lot. Like gaslighting and manipulation.
That's crazy.
It really happens a lot on to me on a female. Like you wouldn't believe the conversations in my phone. I'm like, the fuck,
I'm
like.
reading them off like so Roy Davey said.
But there's one that was like, do you have a boyfriend or a fiance yet? And I'm like, no. Well, I'm coming for that spot. Okay. All right.
That's the risk. That's it.
That's
Because you would believe, I feel like I think
Then I deleted it 2 days later.
that like myself,
Yeah.
I feel when people do that to me, like you think that my self-esteem must be low and I must be desperate for that. Unfortunately, we're talking to when it comes to her, she's still divorcing. Like she's still currently technically on paper somebody who has wife.
Mm-hmm.
You coming for what spot, sir?
Right. So
you're wrong.
Like what are you
It's
talking about?
not technically like it's taken, but it's not like we're going through a divorce. So I'm like, yeah, I'm single, I'm dating, like I'm trying to get to know people, but don't come at me like we don't even know each other for real. We ain't really.
I'm not even mad that he said that. I'm mad that he didn't stand on business.
Yeah, like
say that shit and then stand on it.
business. Like be like, yo, I'm coming to pick you
I'm
up
not
on a date or something like that. Like
No,
don't
did not say I was coming. Where you
I don't
at?
hear from you for 2 days. Like you're deleted.
Where do I send it?
I don't understand people. Like it's crazy when people have these expectations. You know what I mean? Like, and when it comes to dating, you need to learn your person that you with. And if you establish what you want in the beginning, then that's how we rock it. Don't try to change it in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you say you're not kissing.
Perception number 2 though.
Yeah.
You said you knew him for like 20 years, right?
We had dated
We should've known that.
some time back.
Okay, but
You should have known better.
Because look, wait, but look.
Tony
I
Johnson.
have a firm belief that women and men can't really just be friends, right? And
Here we go.
I'm not saying that it's not possible, but I'm saying the percentage of it is very small,
Yeah.
right? So you saying you've been friends with you for 20 years?
I would say
that
we were
means-
friends. We knew each other because we dated for a brief period
In my mind,
20
I've been
some odd
watching
years ago.
for 20 years.
I was in college. Like we dated for a hot second back in like
He's shaking. He's so disappointed.
like
You're like, listen, like,
I don't like to hear this, man.
like 2004. You know, like 2004, 2005, somewhere there. So now we're like 20 years later, almost literally.
Yeah.
And then
You come with
you know,
that.
so I don't know where your man was at when you're back then, but I can tell you right now, who I was then is not a fraction
Facts.
of who I stand on today, right? My vocabulary is not even the same as that person then, and now I was such a people pleaser and to go along to get along, girl, and so desperate to be liked and for friendships and shit. I don't give a fuck today.
Yeah.
Fuck you, like seriously.
Very
So for me, you know what I mean? And even when you're trying to explain that to people, they still want to hold you accountable to who they believe
You are in their mind.
or who they expect you to be.
They still
And
looking
I'm
at
not
the
her.
20-year-old you.
I kept telling this person, like, listen, I don't know why you think. So like I said, he's the DM. You don't want that. I was trying to give you no the fuck he wasn't. No, he wasn't. You know, oh yeah, this, that, and third. So then after that, well fuck it, I'm gone, so it don't matter.
Why
You
you
said that last year.
Okay. Then pops back. So what you gonna do?
You came back again?
Swear to
Yeah.
Alright, you gotta go.
He's on the block.
Yeah.
like 3 times.
Yeah, 3 blocks. You just
Pops back. So what you gonna do? I'm like, about what? He's like, us. Who the fuck is us? I'm like, sir, what? I'm like, this is not a real thing. This can't be real. I'm like, you just told me goodbye twice now. Who the fuck's thinking about a U or an S? I don't know what you
That other
mean.
woman probably running back to him.
Not me.
You know what I'm saying?
I did you like I never met you. I don't even know what you're talking about. Huh? What? Who? Nah, not me.
Yeah, that's
so. It's me with the what you so then he's like, oh, y'all see, you're still dwelling on the past. I'm like, the past, man, that was like a week ago and yesterday.
Yeah.
How the fuck got that past?
A week ago.
Are we in the same planet? Like, what are you talking about? So then there's that. So then, like I said, so for me, I told her, I said, really at this point it's my fault because I'm responding. I said, so I talked to my friend Brian about it. I'm like, being like, listen, so because I needed guy advice at that point. Like, is it me? Like, am I fucked up? He's like, no, it's not you. He's definitely the problem. So we're having a conversation. I said, but I feel like I'm the problem now because I'm responding. He said, well, why? I said, because I can't leave shit unsaid. You can't say crazy shit to me and let me, and I'm not like that.
He came in there with ulterior motives, right? He thought he was gonna try to finesse you for a couple of days, you know what I mean? And then, like you said, shoot his shot. But then this is like, bro, this is exactly where I wanted to be at. You know what I mean? With this friendship space.
Again, when you set a boundary, like it's like, okay, I'll date you, but here are my like I want to date. I want you to court me. That's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
So if you're coming with anything less than that, like I know, but I'm saying, either or. Like I'm saying either or. Like I either want you to date me or court me. For you, I know it's like more so of a courting thing. Like that's what you're used to. Right. So anything less than you coming on the block and thinking you could do anything less than that is crossing a boundary. Mm-hmm. And if she states that, like, this is what I'm used to. I was a wife. Okay, that's a boundary. You're telling me you were a wife, so there were certain stipulations and boundaries with you being a wife.
And that shit in your mind should
I would be a fool to accept anything like that.
Yeah, like, so
that man,
as a man, like, I don't understand, like, as a man, if I'm already telling you I'm a wife, why don't, like, in a man's mind state, okay, she has wife qualities.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. He played the game for a little bit, and then that's why he was like, yo, pull up in the crib, I'm changing.
He's used to somebody giving up.
That's what not 20. Listen, I know what pressure feel like. I know what it feel like when a man is I know what it feel like when a woman is applying pressure. You understand me? I know what it feels like with both genders, bro. You ain't hit the mark on neither side. On either side. Like, you failed both categories. Like, what are you trying? Like, I can't. I'm not about to play this game with you. Like, I'm not about to do it. I'm not about to do it.
I'm disappointed when I hear shit like that because like you didn't like if somebody gave you the expectations from the jump street and then you try to switch it, bro, that's on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I say I don't want to do this, I'm not fucking with this X, Y, and Z. But then that's something you gotta respect it. And if I decide. If any of us decide we don't want to play this game, then we have every capability to just move on. But you can't get mad at somebody or force somebody to do something that they don't want to do. Like, what type of manipulation shit you want?
I mean, but that, like I said, that happens in a lot of conversations. Like the conversations right now, like I just went through like a closure and deleting thing this week. Mm-hmm. Like people that I was really calling to see like what type of time they was on to get closure from those situations. Like, you want some well-type time. You don't hold any value in it from what I'm seeing in the conversations we're having. So there's nothing left to discuss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
it'd be like that.
Yeah, that's just what it is sometimes, But niggas always take advantage of the situation until they realize they can't anymore. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
I also like I'm just not gonna be dating. I told her that's I'm back to
you said you was single today, You said you was single today.
I'm not still single, but that's beside the point. Like at this point, I'm legit burnt out. I've been through a lot in the past year. I had a whole stalker. The stalker shit was wild. And real talk, this new situation that we just talked about was real eerily similar to some of the shit I went with the stalker situation. Like, don't do that. If I'm telling you this, don't try to make it seem like one way or the other. I told you I'm very clear in what I mean and what I feel. Don't.
He said
do me like that. Seriously, that's not cool. Cause now I'm excited at everybody to say hi to me. Like, what you
doing? And then like
you should always do that though, regardless if they try to force you to be your friend or whatever.
But that's just like I got a nephew that lives in DC, me and my niece, we was a little bit serious because we were talking about the hair. It's just like, yo, the pool hair is like kind of murky.
I said it got poop in it.
It's murky than a mug hair, and he was like, it's like that down there too. I'm like, well, damn, like we're like, I know the world is big, but you know, we're like, where is there a good place to date? Like that's. But it's also like, what's the expectations on dating and the boundaries on that as well? Because now there's a lot of boundaries on dating or courting or whatever situation you're trying to be in.
I mean, if first and foremost, you got to establish what do you want. Mm-hmm. What do you want from me? What do you want from this relationship? And then once that's clear, assuming that both parties stick to it, you know what I mean? Then you proceed accordingly. Like, yeah, we can go out, we can go play pool and all that shit, but like I said, it's just too many men think just too much about sex. You know what I mean? It's always about getting a new cat or getting a new count, you know what I mean? So it hinders their ability to have a real relationship.
Form a real lasting relationship.
You know what else pisses me off? The whole we grown thing. We grown. What the fuck is that?
I don't need no coercion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
we ain't fucking kids. Come on, we grown. What is that?
You're right, so I'm gonna leave where the fuck you at.
Like, what are you saying?
There's that, there's the, I'm just trying to have fun. Oh, well, you can have fun by yourself.
I need to know what that means. I told you, I asked questions. Well, what is fun to you? What does that mean to you?
But that's all, like, a lot of them like when they go bowling and then, but then as you get down the line and you really start to read them, you're like,
you ain't got no substance.
Fun means sex. Like, you
about to be real disappointed. You about to be real disappointed. You about to be real extra read on without it disappointed. you don't know how mad you about to be.
There's some risk for y'all that don't get it, right? In my opinion, if you do want to have fun with a woman, that's the last thing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the activities is cool, but like the conversation, are you about to record that?
No, I'm about to, no.
I'm about to
say it again.
I didn't know that was that good.
Say it again.
I'm like, if you really want sex, you know what I mean? That's the last thing that should be in your mind. You should be worried about the conversation, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get to her mentally, and then after that, then the roles come down, you know what I'm saying? But that's not, you can't. If you telling me if you got a person that's actually a dude that's giving you good conversation, good personality,
I feel like that's a little bit of trickery though. If you don't want to, if you don't want, if intentionally you don't want to be with me, if your main goal is just to hit, then you doing all that just to hit, and then you out after you.
I feel like every guy's main goal is to hit at one point.
At some point,
we talked about that on Just Fucking. In our Just Fucking episode, we had that conversation where I said, but when that one guy, she was like, well, why, if that's all you want to do, why not just say that? Because I said that to a friend of mine too. Like, if your only goal is to just take me down, just say you want to take me down. He was like, no, because the percentages, you being like, it's way slimmer than me being like, hey, would you like to go to dinner and see a movie? You can be like, yeah, that long before you be like, yeah, come on over and just screw. He said that the probability of a woman that's just cool with that is like real, is like a needle in a haystack.
Well, you can't try to, just have sex with somebody that's wife material. You can go to the slides or, you know what I'm saying, whoever else, and go get that. You know what I mean? You got to analyze the woman you're dealing with. You can't just go to anybody with that type of mindset. So I understand where Kate coming from. The last thing you should be talking about is sex, but if my plan is to be with you, then I'm going to be with you. Sex going to happen regardless.
Right.
That's a part of the value system though. So like it doesn't matter. Some people only see women as objects.
Piece of meat,
you know what I'm saying? That's it. Like they don't. You with that niggas like you a holding me like what the fuck you talking about, bitch? I don't give a fuck about you. Like I know people like that. Who that is just how their goggles adjust. Mm-hmm. They don't give a damn who they're standing in front of. You know what I'm saying? That bitch over there, like you can't talk about the first lady. Oh fuck that bitch. Let's have a hoe with a skirt on. Like you know you trying to fuck her now. Like I know real people who feel that way.
Right.
So that's just their level of reasoning. There are some people that can compartmentalize the variations in females and women. And there are people that can't. It's just, that's all it is.
Yeah.
You just somebody that's about to catch it or you ain't. Like, what you trying to do? Move, daddy. You try and catch it or you ain't.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
how about you?
Those type of situations, like I like to, like I said, know what I'm dealing with. Like if you just trying to, okay, well, I'm gonna like that's what you trying to do. I'm not really trying to invest my energy into that. If that's all you trying to do,
right? But somebody else will be. You know what I mean? So that ain't me. But you know, you can go that way.
Yeah, like that's not like.
And that's fair.
I was open and I was hopeful, but now I'm terrified. And I'm like, yeah.
But I think like one of my boundaries is too.
Why so bad?
One of my boundaries too is like for me to even be intimate in any type like you have to hit my intellect. Like you have to hit energy some type of way. I'm just gonna be fucking on you. Come on, man.
You can't hold a conversation.
That's hard. And then niggas just want to use chicks at the end of the day. Right. You know, you never know what they want. It could be sex. It could be an apartment. You know what I'm saying?
We talked about that too. We talked about that too.
Yeah, like you just never know. You need somewhere to live, bro. Yeah. Like you should have led with that.
We talked about
because they need a place to stay.
Shit though, you know, a lot of men are not financially stable, you know, and they need a roof over their head. Yeah. You know, so
it's just fucked up.
Send me a hot one plate head ass nigga.
Yeah,
sorry to hear.
And also the last thing, I mean, don't come into relationships without loving yourself first though, man. Love yourself, man.
And don't expect your partner to make you happy.
Yeah, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Come in there, you know, full.
Healthy and healed.
Yeah, exactly. Healthy
Here's
and
the funny
healed.
thing about healing and being healed. You're never fully healed.
That's true.
I mean, that's true.
You're never fully healed. I got scores that I've had forever that if you bump them the right way, them motherfuckers still hurt. And they ain't been severely encapsulated and healed over. You know what I'm saying? I done been stabbed, shot, everything else. Let me tell you something. Some of these mugs, you ding it the right way. It's like, oh, what the fuck? Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? That shit still hurts. So healing or not, those scars still remain, and some of them are very much still painful. You know what I mean? People try to weaponize your trauma against you when you don't use it in the way that they feel works for them or is comfortable for them. And I hate that. Like, that shit pisses me off. You know, so I hear somebody say that all the time. Like, are you healing though? Have you healed? First of all, stop saying that shit because you don't get to control what healing or healed looks like for somebody. People heal 1,000 different people. Keloid. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't scar at all. You know what I'm saying? There's some people use different ointments and creams. Some people's healing method is just different. So with that being said, just because my healing don't look or feel like your healing don't mean I haven't taken that opportunity to heal. And it doesn't mean that shit still doesn't hurt.
Right.
It still hurt.
Yeah, but that's gotta be perfect.
Yeah.
Some stability.
Absolutely, for sure. There's a level of maturing that you have to do emotionally and mentally. That is absolutely necessary for you to train the people into your life.
But that's what people don't understand. Like, part of you setting your boundaries is part of your healing stage. Like, I had these boundaries in place because I went through some shit. And I'm not going to go through no more shit just because I'm dealing with you or whoever the fuck else I'm dealing with. Like, don't take me back to that space because you're not going to like that space.
Trying to progress, not regress.
Yeah, like, you're not going to like me. And if I got to go back to that space, as much as I try to stay away from that, you're not going to like that.
Yeah.
You're not going to like taking me to that place.
It's going to be a nightmare for you.
Okay, all right.
You ever looked at the bed, motherfucker?
Like, you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
My thing is, like, if I say to leave me alone, then please leave me alone. Don't call me, don't text me, don't do none of that, because it can get not very nice. Yeah. And I won't even know that it happens.
That's good.
What?
Because I don't give a fuck about that shit.
I black out. No, I'm not. I get black out mode when I get that angry.
I'll be tempted too. Like, I'll see you and answer your phone. And that's cool. But we both know that I used to kick in doors for a living. So if you like that door the way it currently stands, I would advise it to be unlocked when I get there.
Police
officer.
88. He's a police officer?
relationship once upon a time.
What? Man, you was really kicking that thought. I was joking when I said that. But that was.
Oh! Get the fuck down the floor. Put everything. Get your hands on the motherfucker.
I ain't trying not to even talk to people like that.
You still have fat ties. I ain't got nothing on me. I'm just.
We don't even have those type of discussions.
That's not my problem.
We don't even have those type of discussions. We don't even talk about. We talk about current stuff. Hey, you part of the social flex?
Yeah. Every Thursday.
Yeah, that's what I do. We got anything else?
But I tell her that because, like I said, we've been friends since the 4th grade. So, you know what I'm saying? She definitely has her moment. She gets her mood. She like tries to shut
I've
down.
been friends since the 4th grade.
Yeah, it's like, so my thing again is like, I get into stages where I just want to be left alone. Like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, look, I'll go in my crib. I'll be in my crib in the dark with the TV on.
But she one of the only people that can probably get you out that.
She'll come to my crib and be like, hey, we ain't going this shit, but we'll go eat.
I'm hungry because I'm starving. I can manage.
And I be like, all right, man.
Oh, shit, let's go. Get it out for you.
Because if she didn't do that, I'm asking what space she was in, you know?
My space with that is like, if she don't come, like, eventually, like, I have to decompress from everything that is correlating in that heat. Before I be like, okay, I'm cool.
Yeah, that's definitely got it.
Because if I don't, like, I'm liable. It's not for somebody who ain't did shit to me. Like, you saying some wrong shit to me. I'll be like, man, fuck you, your mom, and your whole family. Then we fighting. So. Then we fight, and I don't want to fight. So it's best for me to just stay in the crib.
Take care of your mental health. With your boundaries and I'm a too. Definitely, I ain't gonna snap on
So now I'm gonna chill.
Sure.
Leave me alone.
Like for real, her and my sister are the only two people that can really be like, well, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no, yeah, you gotta have somebody to do it.
My brother, me and him were arguing about it, and I'll be mad, even madder. Like he's a button pusher.
Nah, there's something about that sibling love though. Like that's what we always gonna do. You know what I mean? Siblings gonna always test your buttons because they don't know when to stop. You know what I'm saying? It's like if it's a serious moment, and then they may say something serious back, but then at the end of it, they gonna say
something like, we have a wild relation. I can cross some boundaries with him. He crossed some with me.
Yeah.
But I think me and Luke like that camera and go together.
For him, because his camera's been out.
Yeah, no.
No, that's a shame.
It's been out.
Like it's crazy.
I saw the red lights on that.
Do we got anything else we want to discuss as far as boundaries? Get ready to close out.
We hit a lot of points.
Yeah, I think that was tough.
We appreciate y'all.
We appreciate y'all. Definitely coming on and spending the evening with us and chopping it up. Hopefully you'll see another cross episode, but we're gonna come kick it with them.
Yeah, you will. You don't have to. You gotta make it a cringy topic for y'all. So.
Ain't no topic cringy for us. We done
I know.
What else we touched that was kind of toxic?
Good for y'all, you know what I mean?
We done talked about some wild. We done talked about sex.
Yeah,
we done got some stuff on here. Then I got some emasculation.
Yeah, we'll do our research.
BDSM. That was a good one, boy. That was deep.
BDSM is crazy.
I got a homegirl that did the dominatrix. So we fed her and
I know y'all got
and then another girl I'm playing.
No, we didn't even get flat.
She's a submissive. So we passed them in and they go talk about
Fifty Shades of Grey type shit.
Christian Grey. A little bit of Christian Grey. That's the thing. A little bit of that.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But it goes deep. Like I was told it that, and somebody was like, "We don't call it that." I'm like, "Oh shit! Well, what y'all call it? Not bad. Yeah, me. I'm proud, baby."
Out of curiosity, what do they call it?
they ain't never
They
get
don't
back.
share the lifestyle.
Yeah,
It has many different names.
Yeah.
You gotta depend on who you're talking to. At the end of the day, it's technical, scientific term.
Oh my God, yes. Man, that was a dope ass conversation for real.
Yeah, man, we appreciate y'all for coming on and rocking out with us for sure.
We're here every Thursday almost, unless one of us got vacation or we sick or
Life
one
is
of us
life.
have a meltdown or something.
Because it happens for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I just can't do it today.
Sure, fucking hell.
It's too much. I'm overwhelmed.
Nah, we ain't gonna let that happen. Positivity, stability, good mental health in there.
Like the life and
Okay, you want to end the show? Like how we start off?
Hold on, let me.
Just add, we here with.
Nah, for real, you got anything going on that you want to
we always ask, do y'all have anything going on?
So we started season 3. We just did. We actually was interviewed by TC Financial Literacy with TC. Shouts out to him.
The episode is out right now.
Yeah, so out too. So and then we got you guys. So we starting. This is like our second time being interviewed or being on a panel type thing. So we are starting season 3. We had a preseason episode about a month ago, but now we're gonna start to take gas. So you guys obviously will be on season 3. So yeah, we got some big things coming up in the summer. Just stay tuned.
Yeah, more episodes, more content. I mean, you said it all. Basically, a lot of collaborations coming up. You know, so and yeah, we're looking forward to having you on the podcast. We hope y'all can have fun like we did. So,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? Love is love all the time. So.
Oh, hold on, I gotta flip that. We gotta get creative now.
Oh shit.
There we go. We have to use that one.
Okay.
What you got going on, see?
Oh shit.
What's up, other stuff?
Are you good? June 20. We'll start with this Saturday. This Saturday I got Juneteenth Fest at the Forge Winery. It's the Taylor Gang and a couple of affiliations with that. But they're having like a Juneteenth showcase that I'll be a judge at. And that's from 8 to 2, 21 and over event, $10 entry. What else I got going on? I got a fashion show that I'm in on the 29th. It's going to be at Allegheny Commons, which is the park. And I have I'm working with Top Floor Promotions on the Erie Summer Fest, which is Sexy Red, Jeezy, Rob 49, and a couple other people. So that's July 19th up in Erie. So if you want to attend that and you want to try to get some tickets, holler at me, or his name is Jay Gannon Williams on Facebook. Or you can look it up through the Erie Purdue Center or something like that. But everything's on my Facebook. Everything I got going on is on Facebook. Other than that, I'm just artist development and artist management.
You got artists here in Pittsburgh.
I got Lil Jude, who's my daughter. That's going on with it.
That's what's up.
I think that's what's up. Me and Lil Jude got a love-hate relationship. I love her to death, but
you gotta put one of her songs in the intro.
Well, my son did the intro.
Oh, yeah. So you still.
Wayno with Flex too.
Yeah. Wayno on the beat did for Flex too. So
so he makes beats.
He's a producer and engineer.
Oh, tell him we need some beats.
We need a jingle.
Y'all need a jingle too?
We need a jingle.
Alright, yeah, we can
Tired of getting dinged, boy. I was like, how you make a sound?
I was like, hey, we need an intro. He's like, alright, mom. Here you go. Like this one. I was like, here, he sent it to us right now. Here, like this one. He's like, yeah, I like it. Alright, cool. Shit. This is it.
Yeah, we have to cancel all those cuts.
Well, that concludes this episode. Wow, you know good and hell well. With these people. Love y'all. But,
you know. Talking about you ain't got nothing to share with these people.
She very, until it is like.
You shared your whole life.
in 3 weeks. It got to be something I don't care nothing about hearing again.
Okay.
Some shit, like, if I don't give a damn, like, you can repeat it to you. I don't give a damn. I've been through that. I've resolved that mentally, whatever. I'm past that. So then those are things I can share. Shit that you can still hurt my feelings with.
I feel it. Can't get out
About that.
Yeah.
We're not about that. But as far as anything I have going on, I do a lot of like business formations and stuff with people. So it's a lot of the stuff that I'm working on until it's like.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
she ain't plug it, but my nephew got a book out on
He
Amazon.
does. My son has a
Oh,
book
that's
out on
good.
Amazon.
That's so good right there.
It's a journal. It's called My Voice, Your Voice Matters.
Okay.
His name is Jamari Turner, so you can look him up on Amazon, Jamari Turner, and buy his journal. It is the premise for the journal was to help children who have trouble speaking up or advocating for themselves, especially as it pertains to like school and stuff. Like a lot of parents don't really get kids going like, "How was school today?" It was okay, and then you're just cool with that being the answer, and let your kid go past you when there's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on that you really need to know. So the purpose of the journal is so they can write their experience in their day in real time. You know what I mean? While they're like it's happening. So if something is happening at school with a peer or a teacher or someone, they can write it down and then they can share it not only with you but with a trusted adult to be a mediator and a go-between between them and whoever the conflict is with for appropriate conflict resolution. Also, so you can get an insight into how they mind work and stuff. You know what I mean?
But it's not just for kids. Like
Anybody can use
but it's
the tagline on each page is "I wish they heard" or "I wish they seen." So if you to write out what you wish somebody, because we don't always feel heard and we don't always feel seen. But this is a constructive way to get that all out, so that you're not carrying that with you everywhere you go. So yes, that is on Amazon. She's correct. I do have my son does have that book.
that's all right, nephew. I got you.
But that concludes our episode of Boundaries tonight on the Social Flex. Thank you for tuning in and hanging with us. Thank you to the Culture Content for coming on and being our panelists and giving us awesome feedback and conversation. We love you guys. Thank you.
We love y'all for having us.
We love you. And here at the Social Flex, we always want to remind you to be blessed in the